it's about that time that we make our season predictions. Now, we previewed each division. We went team by team about a month ago, but we've got to make our official picks, our official predictions on the NFL season, which means our division winners, our wild cards, our Super Bowl picks. So we have the live studio band. The NFL on Fox band was kind enough to join us here this early in the morning. I mean, everybody's socially distanced. I mean, they sound great. It sounds just like a recording. Sometimes you go see a band, they don't sound like they do on the recording when they do live. I mean, this band here sounds just like they do on the recording. So here we go. Who wants to go first? Who wants to give out their picks, division, wild card in the AFC, and then give out their AFC champion? Who wants to go first? All right.
I can do this.
Okay,
I can throw my hat in the ring.
Let's go.
This, right?
I'm ready to.
I'm going to start off with the AFC because I think the AFC is going to be the most exciting this season. A lot of great young, talented quarterbacks. Being the number one overall seed, it sounds a little chalky, but I have a hard time believing it's not going to be the case. The Buffalo Bills. They have a deep, talented roster, a defense that, yes, it may have let them down and allowed, Kansas City to come back in the game at times, but, bottom line is, doesn't matter. New season, new Buffalo Bills. They get the bye, number one overall seed. I got the Baltimore Ravens win the AFC North. A hot, contested battle with the Cincinnati Bengals, who won the AFC Championship a year ago. But Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, they don't have any problems winning the regular season. It's just been the postseason. Following that up, I got Kansas City winning the AFC West. I know a lot of people are hot on the LA Chargers. Some people think maybe it's the Raiders who will be able to climb up and win the division. I still think it's the Chiefs. I've got to see them not do it to believe otherwise. And then I've got the Colts winning the AFC South with the addition of Matt Ryan, potentially an MVP candidate in Jonathan Taylor, and a really stingy defense. And to fill out the wild card, Cincinnati at the 5 seed. I got Denver representing the AFC West. And then, with my last spot in the AFC, the LA Chargers. So 3 teams from the AFC West make it. I do have a bold prediction, but I'll get to that later. In the NFC, my number one overall seed's the Green Bay Packers. I got them taking over, obviously, the NFC North. At number 2, I got the Tampa Bay Bucks. A lot of people are fading them, expecting them to fall apart. I don't see that happening. I got the LA Rams winning the NFC West, which, that's going to be another very competitive division. It's hard sometimes for this Super Bowl winning teams not to get that Super Bowl hangover. I think they'll be just fine. I got the Dallas Cowboys winning the NFC East. Minnesota as my first wild card team, followed by Arizona, and finally the New Orleans Saints to round out my playoff picture.
How about that? All right, Sticks, you ready to go? You want me to fire off?
I'm not doing all that.
What do you mean?
That's a whole lot.
You just give out a division winner, 3 wild cards, and a Super Bowl pick. I'm
That's
ready to go.
That's a whole lot. I don't want to give all that analysis. I'm just going to give you my picks.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Give the picks.
The Ravens are going. That's my team to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
I like it.
I think they're going to win the AFC North as well.
Back-to-back years for you, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down on them. And you know why?
I had them last year, too.
They were snake-bitten, and I thought that it was going to be their year to take a step forward. They got the kid out of Notre Dame at the safeties position. I think that
Kyle Hamilton.
I think he's going to be a fine addition to that team. It's the perfect team for him to have gone to. So anyway, I like the Ravens this year to go. I think they're going to win the North. I do believe that my wild card, and I know it sounds crazy, but I think the wild card is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC. It's 2 wild cards, right?
3
wild cards.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the LA Chargers on 3 or number 2, and man, I'm thinking it might be the Las Vegas Raiders that are the 3rd wild card. I do believe that the Kansas City Chiefs win the AFC West, but I just don't think they're the same team that they've been in the past. So I'll be interested to see if they're as good as advertised again, if they come on, or if they're just kind of a team that used to be the scariest team in the National Football League. As far as with the AFC South, I think Tennessee's going to win it. I think Tennessee has the DNA they have shown that they are the team to beat. It'll be interesting to see if Malik Willis makes an appearance this year. That's not really being discussed or talked about, and maybe it's not something to talk about, but one way or the other, I do think Malik Willis is the one to take them into the next level of having an opportunity to go for being a more competitive team in the playoffs. But I think they're going to win that division. I think the Colts are a fine team, but I'm not sold on Matt Ryan. I just got to see him be able to do it for an entire season. Let's see. The Bills, that's an easy one. I mean, we can move on from that. As far as the NFC South, I'm going with I'm feeling this. I've been saying it. It's kind of a hunch. I think New Orleans is going to get it. I think New Orleans is going to get the NFC South, and Tampa Bay will be one of those wild card teams. So out of the NFC wild card teams, it's going to be Arizona, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and possibly the Minnesota Vikings. I got Green Bay winning the NFC North. I have the Rams winning the NFC West. And I think that's it. Isn't that it?
Yeah, I think that's 7.
Do we need to go? All right. So for the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be the Ravens and Green Bay.
How about it?
Ravens and Green Bay.
Who do you got winning?
I think the Ravens will pull it out.
And we do need your NFC East pick. I know you're going with Dallas.
Oh, NFC
right?
East. I did selectively forget about them.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought you wanted Philly.
It's kind of funny that everybody is jumping off of the Dallas bandwagon lately. I've been listening to all the word we love to use, all of our, the pundits out there.
You love Dallas. I know that. That's for sure.
I've been telling everybody I'm not high on them. and it's definitely, honestly speaking, I don't have them as a wild card team. I didn't name them as a wild card team, and they're not winning the NFC East. I think that is going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think that the Washington Commandos will actually finish second in the NFC East.
How about it? Look at that. So basically Mike McCarthy's getting fired, according to you.
I mean, if that's what it's going to lead to, then he's probably a dead man walking.
So I've got, starting in the AFC, I got the Bills winning the East. That seems pretty easy. I think the race for second is going to be interesting there, but I got Buffalo being the only team out of the AFC East making the playoffs. I've got the Chargers winning the West. I've got the Baltimore Ravens winning the AFC North, and I've got the Indianapolis Colts winning the AFC South. As Brady pointed out, bold prediction on the Indianapolis Colts, who are a favorite in that division, to go ahead and take care of business there. I think Matt Ryan solidifies the quarterback position, and they're really talented. At some point, you'd think they would get through and at least maybe win a playoff game here eventually. As far as the wild card goes, I got Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Las Vegas as my wild card teams. I love Russell Wilson in Denver. That seems fun, but something about it, I like what the Raiders have done. I feel like there's a direction there that they're heading, and I think Derek Carr is going to have a monster year with Devontae Adams. So I leaned Raiders over Broncos as far as picking up that final wild card spot.
Just spatting in the eye of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, listen,
unbelievable.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful here. I mean, there are reports that Russell Wilson is on my fantasy team. I know you guys were asking about that before the show.
Okay.
There's some reports about that. But in the NFC, I've got the Dallas Cowboys winning the East. I mean, come on. There's way too much talent, way too much money invested. Figure it out. Start putting some decent games together if you're Dak Prescott and company. I just think they're the most talented team in the divisions. And Philly makes it close, but I still give the edge to Dallas there. I'm going to have Dallas winning the East. I've got the Arizona Cardinals winning the NFC West. I think this is a year that they make a jump.
Look at that.
I just, something about the Rams. I don't trust some of the reports on Stafford. There's another one that came out that we can get into that popped up in the Twitter feed a few moments ago. I don't trust some of the reporting on this. I got the Packers winning the NFC North, obviously. Tampa Bay, I think, is going to win the South. They're still the best team in that division, despite whatever Tom Brady's marital situation is that everybody gives a rip about. And then for my wild card teams, I do have the Rams picking up a wild card spot. I've also got the Saints picking up a wild card spot. And maybe I'm crazy, and maybe this show's a lot higher on the Vikings than anybody else, but I think that pairing of O'Connell and Kirk Cousins is going to make a lot of sense. Justin Jefferson, maybe the best.
Coach that likes him?
Yeah. The coach that likes him, just trying to assault him on the sidelines. I think Minnesota picks up the final wild card spot there in the NFC. And then my Super Bowl, I got the Packers beating the LA Chargers. I think Justin Herbert and company get all the way to the Super Bowl, but I got Green Bay winning it all and Aaron Rodgers pissing off a lot of people.
By the way, I didn't give you my Super Bowl pick. I've got Kansas City taking on Green Bay and Green Bay winning it. I think this is the Green Bay's best defense since the last time they won a Super Bowl. So that's how I've got this whole thing playing out. But yeah, can't wait.
That would be. Could you imagine Green Bay, Kansas City in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It doesn't get much better than that as far as quarterback
that
play.
Means A-Rod is going for MVP number 3.
Yeah, it could be in the conversation.
I've got an outside the box one because there's some chalky picks. Like Josh Allen's the favorite to win it. You could go Mahomes. I think he's going to surprise people this year, or Rodgers. But no one's ever won it 3 years in a row, I believe. I actually think Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is going to put up a lot of stats this year. He's obviously going to be in contention for the division. I think the only thing that worries me is I've got Baltimore winning the division. So could you give a guy an MVP award at quarterback if he doesn't win the division? So his stats have to be that much better than everyone else, and I think they will be. I'm not so sure their defense has made the steps or strides they need to not put them in constant shootouts. And they've got between T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd, they've got the weapons. So I actually have and his odds too are pretty favorable if you're looking at someone outside of the chalky 3 that we all look at.
By the way, ball washer of Green Bay, Lee DeLapp, was quick to point out that Brett Favre won the MVP 3 years in a row from 95 to 97.
Was it 3 in a row?
Yeah.
So he was the only one then. Because I was trying to look through that. I know we've had a lot of 2 in a rows. We haven't had 3 in a rows.
Lee, you're such a Brett Favre kiss ass. It's unbelievable.
Hey, just, checking the stats. I think he did tie one of those years, though.
By the way,
that's what I'm saying is we haven't had an outright winner for that.
It's so good when Lee DeLapp pulls it together and gets that information out there so quickly.
By the way,
he tied it with Barry Sanders, by the way, which if you actually look at every other award that year, Barry Sanders won it. So whether it was, whatever else was Sporting News or PFWA, which is the Pro Football Writers Association, Barry Sanders won it that year. So no offense. I'm going to say I know Favre won it technically, but Favre in the other 2 years he won the MVP, won all the other awards like Sanders did. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, Lee, why don't you put that in your cheese head and smoke it, huh?
Yeah.
How's that feel? So there it is. There's our Super Bowl pick. So for the Super Bowl, we all have Green Bay.
What the cheesehead?
By the way, doesn't Favre have some other things to worry about right now?
Hey man, what the hell is that? That's looking worse and worse every week when more details come out. Yeah,
that whole thing
in Mississippi with the
funding,
embezzling state funds.
Yeah, just felt like there was a lot of people involved. Yeah, very.
I mean, now the FBI is investigating it,
and I think there's some stuff that was recorded, some back and forth. Yeah, it's not looking great there, but we do all have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Green Bay. Do you have Green Bay winning the Super Bowl, LaVar?
I have. If Baltimore, which is my pick, makes it that far, I just think they take that next step.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 of the 3 of us have Green Bay winning the Super Bowl, but we all have them going to the Super Bowl, which means
what's
the Lions are going to win that division. It's basically what it means.
No one mentioned the Miami Dolphins.
I know. It's too loaded.
I think they're a dark horse.
They're definitely a dark horse. I mean, the problem is you have the AFC West, and I think you're going to have 2 teams, maybe 3 in. I'm eliminating Cleveland because they're not going to have Watson. But between Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh, it's stiff competition, I think, for wild card spots. And I guess my bold prediction for the year would be this, and it is mathematically possible. I went through this yesterday. All 4 teams from the AFC West make it. If there's a bold prediction to make, I'm going to make that prediction, that all 4 teams in the AFC West make the playoffs.
That would be wild.
It'd be incredible.
Yeah, and there would be some rematches, I'm sure, and that would all play out. So a third-time meeting for some of those teams. So, yeah, that'd be awesome.